Hello?
Jan? What a relief. We thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did I. The base got caught in a huge sandstorm. And I lost part of my crew.
What? Your altars? How could you let that happen?
I guess I failed to make them feel safe enough. They were so uneasy about their future, and that business with Tabula Rasa didn't help. Apparently, they thought they'd be better off in that cold, hostile desert than in my base.
You mean they ran away? And they're exposed to radiation?
They took the exploration vehicle and some supplies.
Tell me not all of them left?
No. Why?
The ship is close, Jan. You have to be ready for the arrival of the rescue team.
Ready? How?
They can't find out about your altars.
What? But didn't you say that you'd handle everything? And that nobody will care as long as I bring back Rapidium?
They might not care how you got the Rapidium, but confronted with your altars, they will have to react. The board will not tolerate anything that could cast even the slightest shadow on the legitimacy of this operation. And the rescue team is on their leash. Do I have to spell it out to you? They will have your altars killed.
What? Killed? What kind of a rescue team are they?
They're a special ops unit. Military men.
You could have told me earlier.
Please, Jan. You always knew their primary mission was to escort the most precious cargo mankind has ever seen. Did you really expect them to arrive unarmed?
So you lied to me. That you'd prepare them.
I told you I'd test the waters, and that's what I did. But there is a lot of pressure on your success, Jan. A lot of anxiety amongst the top management. They can sense the vultures hovering around them, waiting for any sign of a slip-up. And they won't let them smell blood. They won't expose themselves.
So what exactly is your plan?
The rescue team will arrive shortly before sunrise. You have time until then to come up with a way to smuggle your altars on board. In the meantime, you need to keep collecting Rapidium.
Yeah, sure. And once we take off, what happens then?
You will all go into cryosleep, and as the ship approaches Earth, Lucas will take remote control over it and modify the coordinates. The ship will land in a secluded location I've been preparing.
And what about the crew?
They'll be in cryosleep during the landing. And by the time they wake up, we will be far away. I have a lab ready, and a guarantee of immunity from people who understand. I'm moving operations to a more science-friendly region, somewhere Ally Corp won't get to us. And, most importantly, where nobody will ever find your altars.
So, you're really doing it? You're going rogue?
I won't sugarcoat it. We've come too far together for that. If you wanted to hate me, I probably gave you enough reasons by now. Truth is, when I first heard about you, your situation, I'd be lying if I said it all came together immediately. On the contrary, I didn't hope for much. An accidental castaway with no qualifications, all alone, burdened with such a responsible task. But when Lucas told me you did it, you created your altar and managed to convince him to cooperate with you, I couldn't help but fantasize about where this could go. Can't you see? I've been waiting for something like this ever since they shut down Project Ela.
You never stop dreaming about reviving it.
You wouldn't be so surprised if you knew what we could achieve.
By altering mine records? What exactly were you up to?
We were exploring unconventional methods of helping war veterans suffering from PTSD. Instead of teaching them to cope with traumatic memories, we wanted to eradicate and replace them with positive ones. The idea was to prove that there are no different rules governing the mind and the body. Both can be treated by replacing a broken part with a healthy one.
And did you succeed?
We were close. But even if we had been allowed to finish that stage of the project, I had much bigger ambitions. But take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
What? How?
The Tree of Life. You've seen yours, but it's just a projection, a rudimentary interface. Think about it. What if it was no interface, but an integrated part of the human mind, allowing us to live our lives exactly the way we should?
The way we should? What? You mean, make the right decisions?
Exactly. The human cognitive system enhanced in a way evolution failed to do in millions of years.
Wow, that's amazing.
More than that. Imagine a world where nobody ever takes the wrong turn. Children are never harmed. There are no court misrulings because there is no crime. Greedy and corrupt individuals never come to power, and because of that, wars never break out. Can you see now why your success meant so much to me? Do you not understand that giving Rapidium away for any other purpose would mean robbing humanity of its biggest evolutionary leap since we crawled out of the primordial soup? Do you still think there is a better purpose for your altars than to contribute to all that?
I'm not their owner. They're people in their own rights. I can't decide their fate for them.
That's very noble. But in a way, you've already done that when you created them. Look, all I'm asking is several weeks in a lab where I can run some tests on them, collect data, and prepare for the bigger leap.
And then what? You let them walk free?
You know I can't do that. It would be too risky for both of us and for them. But I could guarantee them a comfortable life. They would be hidden from the eyes of the world.
Imprisoned.
The only alternative for them is to be disposed of by the corporation, like waste. I think you need to take a breath. There's a lot to think about. How to smuggle your altars aboard that ship, for one. But first, you have to guide their navigator to your exact position. They'll need you to mark the spot with a beacon. Start with that, and then I trust you'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I wasn't an accidental survivor.
What do you mean?
The quantum computer chose me. Seems I was the one who had the biggest chance of making it.
Well, doesn't that just prove my point? We are capable of so much more than we think, Jan. All we need to do is open the door and let that potential in. You'll hear from me again before the ship lands. Good luck, Jan.
like trees. What are they really? to get there. Tire tracks. It must be the tour vehicle. At least I know which way they went. passengers and cargo left. Maneuvering here must have been a nightmare.
missing that.
I'm done here. Should I do this now? Okay, I'm done. I can do this now.
Those rocks look like they collapsed recently. There's definitely something on the other side, but I can't drill through here. Okay, this looks promising. A light. Almost there. Is that a shelter? There you are. You okay? Huh? Seriously? That what you want to talk about? I thought I'd never see you again. You got some guts to follow us all the way down here. Don't you get it? The party's over. You're going to die if you stay out here any longer. Anything's better than serving as lab-grown meat for Maxwell's experiments. You're right. It was a mistake to trust him. I learned some disturbing things about his project. To be honest, the man is starting to scare me too. Oh yeah? Tell that to Tabula Rasa. Your mistakes actually have consequences for others. Admitting to them won't take that back. So, you really want to stay out here? How do you intend to survive the sun? In the tur vehicle? Are you kidding me? That thing is good protection against radiation, but it won't withstand the sunrise. Only a proper shelter will. And this place provides the perfect terrain for one. So that's what you're building. Yeah. And it's no picnic, so why don't you get back to your base and just let me get on with it? Is there anything I can do? Yeah, let it go. Do you have enough food? That's none of your business. You don't have enough food. There's not enough of anything, okay? Are you happy? But I don't want your fucking help.
Just go, okay? You're making things worse. Ah, another movie. This one was actually on my pile of shame. Still in need of supplies? What? Well, I thought sharing is caring, you know? Oh, man, you just don't give up, do you? Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Yeah. I gotta say, I might be able to swallow my pride just this once. It's gotten really tight. You're not a minute too early. Look, I've been thinking about everything you said about Maxwell, and you have every right to be afraid of going back. But staying here is suicide. And if you came back, well, maybe we'd have a chance to think of something to keep you safe. Think of what? Sacrificing someone again? Like you did with Tabula Rasa? No, Jan. There's one thing Pops taught me, and that's that people don't change so easily. Oh. Heavy blow. It's just a fact of life.
Listen, man. We're not going back. Nothing can change that decision. We're staying here. We just need to finish building the shelter.
Only a few more things, and maybe we'll even be able to call it home. Man, I'm telling you, it's madness. Yeah, story of my life.
Like I said, no going back.
Yeah. But if you're serious about this caring shit, I admit there's one more thing you could do to help. Shoot. See those pylons over there? Took quite an effort to put them up. I got a list of resources that could really speed up preparations. If you happen to have any of these to spare, maybe you could just connect your infrastructure to these pylons and, well, send the goods over. and make things a lot easier. That big yellow son of a bitch is really making us sweat. Just saying.
mind checking our food supply?
How are you? connected our pylons. You have access to my infrastructure now. Oh. Does that mean you're giving us some of your resources? Mikasa es su casa, buddy. Help yourself to whatever you need. Huh. That's really generous of you. Thanks. I have to say, I didn't think you'd be up for it. After everything I said. You had every right to say what you said. I would have been as angry as you. That's why I wanted to make it up to you so badly. Are we good now? No. Not quite. Seriously? Yeah, there's something I owe you. Oh? What is it? Well, I thought, since you were so curious about Mom, what we talked about in her last days, after our conversation, I can't stop thinking about one thing. Her last words. Do you wanna know what she said? Of course I do. She said, just always be yourself, Yannick. And I know your life will be exceptional. Wow. See? There's something even I didn't know about her. Looks like she was a fortune teller. Whatever happened between us, you're taking Rapidium to Earth, and that's a big thing. I don't know what to say. Just take them. Take her words with you as a parting gift from me. Goodbye, Jan. Are you sure you want to stay here? What's there to go back to? Maxwell's lab? Besides, with those resources from you, that safe house is starting to look pretty neat. No. We're staying. It's goodbye. Goodbye, then. Have a safe one, and don't spend all your Rapidium in duty-free. Brother. Thanks. Brother. to summon the rescue team. But they can't find out about my altars. What the hell should I do? I wish the technician were here. He'd probably have something to say. Maybe he'd say, fuck the ship. Let's all stay on this planet together. We're not doing so bad, are we? Why do we even want to go back to that old life form? Or is that what I'd want him to say? It's a simple task. Think. You're supposed to be the one who can do it. Believe in yourself, and you can do literally anything. Damn. I'm sounding like the refiner. I need to get my shit together. But, cheesy as it might sound, it's not bad advice. I should stop doubting myself. There are things I'm good at. I mean, I found rubidium. Huh. That might actually be it. That's what the rescue team will care about most. If there's anything they're not taking off without, it's their precious cargo. Yeah. That's it. I'll have to find a way to use rubidium to smuggle the altars back to Earth. The details are gonna need refining, but I'm sure the scientists can help me with that. For now, brainstorm over. Let's light up this beacon. What the hell is that? Ah, shit. Pretty sure this was not supposed to happen. Please. Can't anything be normal on this goddamn planet?
I thought you'd like to know that I ran into a completely new kind of anomaly. First thing that came to my mind was that it's some sort of a prism distortion. Really? What gave you that thought? Well, it behaved as if the reality around me suddenly split up into many different fragments. Wise of you to bring it to me. Any observations on interaction? Well, it didn't seem to do anything specific to me physically. No radiation. But it sure was messing with my brain. Felt as if I was in several different places at once. In a way, you might have been. Huh? You mean? Remember how I told you that anomalies are places where our world intersects with the interworld? Well, what you're describing suggests a distortion in which it comes into contact with not one, but many proximity planes. Entering it is likely to evoke a sensation of being in several parallel realities at the same time. Calling it a prism is accurate, because it refracts your consciousness into many simultaneous states. Neat. Who needs altering, huh? Take it easy. It's just a sensation. You'd best not spend too much time inside them. Plus, I suppose it must make exploration very inconvenient. Can I destroy them like the others?
It should be possible. You just need to locate all of its cores and take them down one by one.
All right. Thanks for the tip. So, I have some bad news and some even worse news.
Does that mean you finally talked to someone on Earth about us?
Well, sort of, yes. It looks like they want me to keep you a secret from the rescue team. Smuggle you on board.
Oh. And for what reason, if I may ask?
Maxwell thinks they might kill you. You're just too much of a liability to the corporation. I'm sorry. But, I'm not sure we need to worry about that just yet, because that was the less bad news. The worst news is, the rescue ship might end up not picking us up at all.
What?
I set up the beacon, but just as the light was going up in the air, suddenly something jammed it. As if there was, I don't know, an invisible barrier up in the sky.
Are you sure you activated the beacon correctly?
Yes, I'm sure. Trust me.
And the light got blocked by an invisible barrier. That's very strange.
Well, we need to do something about it. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been in vain, and we'll end up fried down here. It's not just about the beacon. If light can't get out, then a ship won't get in either.
Yes. Right. Let's stay cool. Give me a moment to study this thing.
I was hoping you'd say that.
I suppose in that case, the conversation about smuggling us on board should be postponed. I suggest we don't mention it to anyone just yet, so as not to cause unwanted agitation.
Right. One problem at a time, huh?
Yes. Let me research whatever this barrier is. First, you could use the time to look around the area, secure resources. We'll probably need them if we were to overcome yet another obstacle.
We're running out of food, don't you think?
In 1977, the Voyager 1 space probe was sent to deep space. On board was a golden record containing sounds and images showcasing the diversity of life and culture on Earth, intended for any
Lucas, good to hear you.
Jan, you're going home. Isn't that exciting? How are the preparations going?
How should I put it? Your enthusiasm may be a little premature.
Oh? What's the problem this time?
Same old, same old. More obstacles. A barrier in the sky this time. I'm gonna have to destroy it if I want the rescue ship to land.
Damn. You're so close.
Yeah, but see, I've been thinking. Do I want it to land?
What? What's that supposed to mean? Of course you do.
Here's the thing. While my alters are worried they might not get back to Earth, I'm worried about what's gonna happen to them after they get back. Because I've learned some troubling things about Maxwell, Lucas. Are you aware that he wants to hijack the Rapidium for himself?
Maxwell has other allies now, a much more open-minded organization than Ally Corp. It's run by people who actually care about progress.
Or maybe people who don't care about the law.
What? What do you mean?
Lena. She recorded a message for me and she said she dug out some dirt about his patients losing their minds. Being unethically exploited.
Exploited?
If you could look me in the eye right now, would you swear that not a single person was mistreated in those experiments? Would you swear on your life, Lucas?
Well, there were some rumors at one point that a patient, that he was, well, a little unstable and he might have... But at his family's request, we buried his data. That's what Maxwell said.
So, it's true. Patient 313 really did exist.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Look, we were working with mentally disturbed people. Accidents happen, but Maxwell was just trying to help them.
Lucas, this is about my alters' lives.
It's a little late for doubts now, Jan. You have no choice but to trust Maxwell. If the corporation finds out about your alters, they'll get rid of them. There's no other option.
What if there was another option? You're a QC navigator, Lucas. Maxwell wants you to take control of the ship once it takes off. What if, assuming for a moment that I managed to get that rescue ship to land safely, what if I just asked you to dispatch us somewhere else? Somewhere they wouldn't find us.
What are you talking about, Jan? Hijacking a ship full of Rapidium? Are you crazy?
It's what you do anyway, isn't it? The question is, will you do it for Maxwell, or will you think for yourself?
Maxwell is doing great things. You and I, we're not worthy to tie his shoelaces. Maybe he's made some mistakes, but he's the only hope people like my folks have. And honestly, I think you care more about your alters than about the real reason you were sent on your mission, Rapidium. I thought you understood how important that was, but I don't think you were listening. You put your own problems, your own life at the center of your mission. I'm sorry, Jan. But when I take control of the ship, I'll steer it straight to wherever Maxwell tells me.
To the Saber Evacuation Functionality Manual. To the Saber Evacuation. Evacuation functionality.
Come see me. I'd like to draw your attention to something.
To the Saber Evacuation.
Did you manage to find out more about the barrier? I'm afraid I don't have good news. For a moment, I was hoping we could redirect the ship to another area, but it seems that won't be possible. What we've called the barrier is, in fact, a strong force-filled layer of interlapping distortions, a sort of prism entanglement. So it's yet another anomaly. Okay, we have ways to deal with them, right? Do you know where it stems from? You see, that's the problem. It seems to be everywhere, covering the entire surface like a dome or a layer of the atmosphere. Wait, what? No, but are you trying to tell me it was here when I landed? It must have been here the whole time, looming above us, invisible to the human eye. Fascinating. So was it the cause of your ship's malfunction? It could have been, yes. Damn, that's incredible. It almost sounds like the planet wanted all this to happen. Me landing here, all on my own. Oh, it makes my head spin. Planets are inanimate objects, Jan. They don't want things. You may have been saved by the QC prediction system, but thinking of all this as some kind of intricate plan would be arrogant even for my standards. I believe the nature of this gigantic prism distortion needs to be studied more. But how? We can't fly. Right. But we've made fragmentary observations on the surface, and I think we can still learn more. I've located 3 areas with particularly strong interference characteristics that match the electromagnetic fluctuations typical for this kind of distortion. They should be marked on your map. I want you to take a closer look at them and bring me more data.
Saber Evacuation Functionality.
something unusual here. Like a giant horizontal branch reaching somewhere. Good. Let me analyze the data properly. I've got a sort of trunk-like structure growing upward. Upward, you say? Yes. I think I know how we could use that information. Looks like some kind of root system. I'm getting some quite extraordinary readings from there. I think I'm starting to see something here. I know what you mean. They seem connected. Come back to the base and we'll talk more. Come and find me when you have a moment.
What do you make of the data we collected?
Interesting. Very interesting. The 3 fragments of the integral apparently form a single structure.
Right. Yeah, it almost looked like it could be part of a gigantic tree of some sort.
A huge vertical framework on a proximity plane. It could be our way up.
A way up? How do you mean? For what?
Reaching the barrier and destroying it.
But I don't understand. It's not even there, physically.
And that is exactly the issue we will have to solve. What would you say if I told you we should look for a way to materialize that structure?
A way to materialize the integral? Knowing you, I'm pretty sure you already have one.
Of course I don't. It's not that simple, Jan. But I do have an initial plan. Based on all the data we've collected so far, I think I came up with a way to disintegrate this barrier. Fragmentize the prism entanglement. But it can't be done from down here. You're going to have to reach for the sky, and that structure seems to be the best way to get there.
But is that even possible? To make it physically accessible?
What if I told you Professor Frankov believed it was possible? Just get to the point. You see, Frankov devised a theoretical experiment in which he proved that if an electromagnetic field was powerful enough, it could pull a proximity plane closer to us. We can be the first to put his theory to practice, because we have something that no one else had before us. Rubidium.
Oh. That's bold.
Bold, dangerous, and necessary.
So you really think you can do it?
I know it sounds impossible, but if we pull this off, there's so much more to gain than just our survival.
Yeah, your career.
Ambition is not an ugly word for the rest of us. Forget I ever mentioned it. Let's stick to getting out of here.
What do you want me to do?
The fragmenting device I told you about, I've drawn up a raw design for you to start building it. And I'll set to work on reconstructing Frankov's theory and finding a way to materialize that structure for us. It is possible. I simply know it. just a little bit of planning?
Is there a problem?
Listen, Jan, we're fed up with your mistakes.
What do you mean, fed up? What is this?
Morale is at an all-time low. You need to reevaluate your priorities or else.
What exactly do you want me to improve?
Good leadership requires treating people as equals, or at least creating a credible impression of doing so. Stop ordering us around like puppets.
I hear you. I'll do what I can.
How did it feel? Helping out the guy who knocked you senseless. Listen, man, people are angry, don't...
We've almost made it. How are you doing?
I'm trying not to think about it. Focus on the job. I almost envied those bastards that ran away. At least they know the shit that's gonna hit them. Or maybe... I just wish we were all together in this, you know? Listen, man, people are angry. Listen, man, people are angry. Don't ignore...
You again.
Well, you know, I couldn't open my eyes for like 4 weeks, you know, they sold my eyes shut. They sold too high.
unbelievable. Well, Jan, it's simply a matter of calculating the right trajectory.
So, it's kinda like in the mine, right? Jan's gonna plant some explosives to blow the barrier away.
It's not that simple. I will.
What the hell is this thing?
A custom-built rubidium-infused electromagnetic field generator. Normally, electromagnetic waves operate on a limited frequency spectrum. But with the extreme nature of rubidium particles, the possibilities become infinite. The frequency spectrum can be stretched so that our waves will be able to penetrate all potential landscapes and disturb their magnetic fields. In effect, pulling the proximity plane towards us, just like a magnet.
Really? It's that simple?
I prefer the word elegant, provided it works as expected. It would be much more reasonable to test this theory in a safer environment before putting it to such extreme use.
Well, we don't seem to have the luxury of testing anything in a safe environment. So I guess we'll just have to close our eyes and push the button.
Maybe your ignorance is a blessing in this case, because we don't have a choice. We are treading on thin ice here. Once activated, the module will start emitting an extremely powerful electromagnetic field affecting not only the outside world, but also inside the base. The effects are hard to predict, but it could be everything from instruments malfunctioning to the entire base being annihilated within minutes.
Sounds encouraging.
Once we turn this thing on and the internal structure materializes, you will need to act quickly. Climb it as fast as you can, penetrate the prism entanglement, place the fragmenting device there, and press start. While you're up there, the rest of us will be fighting to keep the base in one piece. And if there's anything I can tell you for sure, it's that we will not be able to hold the fort for long.
So, I only get one shot.
Exactly. That's why it's vital that we have all hands on deck.
Good point. The team's not ready for this kind of challenge.
Then make sure it is, because we'll need to be flawlessly prepared. Battery packs, robust radiation protection, abundant repair kits on stock. There'll be no time to resupply, no way for you to come back to the base mid-mission. And no time for the rest of us to take care of anything other than protecting the base from falling apart.
And here I was, thinking you'd give me a pep talk.
Well, you're getting cold facts instead. Here's one crucial point. It will be wisest to start in the morning. We don't know how long it will take you to get up there, and the last thing you'd want to encounter is night radiation on top of that structure.
What if you can't hold it up for as long as I need, and the whole thing dematerializes while I'm up there?
Like I said, you'll need to be fast, and we'll need to be strong.
Right.
When you're ready to start, go to the foot of the structure and call me on the radio. On your signal, I'll activate this beast, and we'll see what kind of hell we've unleashed.
Please ensure that
You again.
Navigation functionality manual. Default navigation system.
Okay, I'm done. I can do this now.
Awesome. Another movie.
Navigation functionality. To the safer evacuation.
I'm gonna make sure the base.
Both of you!
Trust me, Greg. You gotta take him out. No, it's me, man. Trust me, I'm the real me.
How can I tell?
Just ask me something
Then you know the real me would know.
What's your name? Your full name? Peter Randolph Thompson.
Wait, your middle name's Randolph?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta ask something that you would also know.
Right. Where did we first meet?
On the train, seat 7B. And then 2 stops later, we figured out that there was a bomb in car 6, right? And
Operation functionality.
FYI, looks like we're running low on repair kits.
Crew to the most probable site. Evacuation functionality.
It's going to be okay.
So, what do you think?
I see you found the proper balance between bossing around and not making people feel bossed around.
Good. Let's put this whole thing behind us and focus on what's ahead.
To the safer evacuation functionality.
I keep imagining myself in a rock.
To the saber evacuation functionality. The ascent is too risky.
All right, I'm ready. Let's get this party started. It worked.
Jan, it's not looking good down here. The base is under extreme pressure.
Damn it, I'm in the womb. This place is falling apart.
Hang on, I'm on my way. Shit, the elevator's stuck. We have a surge of electrostatic discharges. Instruments are unstable, but your battery might actually profit from that anomaly.
Damn it. Prism anomaly. That slowed me down. I need to press on.
Looks like we have a short circuit in the research lab. And I will need to contain it.
No, I'll go. You. Damn it, okay. Okay, you take care of it.
Hold on, Marshal. Get up there and destroy that son of a bitch. Almost there. What? Come on. Not more anomalies. It's gonna give in. Launch the device, quick. Lit up like a freaking fireworks show. Need to contain those short circuits. Something about that cooling system. About a close shave. Okay. Let's see how things are going back at the crib.
Cheers.
Welcome back. We did quite well, don't you think?
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
Deposits requires the navigation system is a
Okay, team, we made it. The rescue ship is gonna be able to land.
Hell yeah!
I have to say, all this time I was trying hard not to think about how much the odds were against us. But we beat them. We beat the odds. It's incredible.
But it's not over yet. There's two things we need to discuss. One, after talking to Maxwell, we decided that it's better for your safety if the crew doesn't know you exist. So, you need to be smuggled on board that ship.
That's ridiculous. What are we? You're embarrassing cargo now?
All right. And what about the other thing?
Okay, here comes problem number 2. I learned some disturbing things about Maxwell's experiments, and I'm not sure we can trust him to stick to his word and keep you safe from harm. Which means we might want to think of a way to take control of that ship ourselves. Guide it out of their reach, somewhere they can't find you. Once we land, we'd have to abandon the ship with the rubidium on board. Ally Corp would find it eventually, but it will buy us time to get you to safety.
Interesting. You do know that the crew of that ship will probably be fully armed? Are you willing to confront a military unit?
I never said anything about fighting them. We need to be smart about this.
We could sneak up on them. Use the element of surprise. They don't know what to expect out here.
Remember, they have no idea about your existence. We could use that to our advantage.
Correct. And we can also predict that they will have to enter the base to salvage any mission-critical documentation. That's the procedure, and they will have to follow it.
Okay, so maybe we could hide outside, wait until they enter the base, and lock them in somehow.
And?
What next?
What do you think? Get the fuck out of here.
Locking them inside the base and taking off without them would be a death sentence. But before they die, they'd have enough time to contact Earth and warn everybody. If we're really considering going to war with them, I'd say there's a much safer way to handle it.
Such as?
We could blow up the base with the rescue team inside. Explosives shouldn't be hard to prepare.
No. There has to be another way than killing.
We could let them board the ship without knowing that you're not alone, of course. But just before takeoff, you could simply use some kind of incapacitating agent on them, like a sleeping gas. Of course, you'd have to be prepared for it, devise some kind of upgrade to your suit so that the sleeping agent doesn't have any effect on you.
Gas mask?
A gas mask. But the biggest problem with that solution is that you'd have to be smart about deploying it. Sneak up to a ventilation shaft when no one is looking. There's no guarantee you'll have an opportunity to do that.
It's too risky. What if you get caught? The sun is not going to wait for us. We need to be ready.
Okay, I get it. But we have to decide on something.
If you want my opinion, there's only one factor we need to consider while making this decision. The success of the mission.
No. Your safety is what matters most to me.
And you have our loyalty.
Okay. Whatever you decide, right now we need to focus on the fundamentals. Let's say we dealt with the rescue team one way or another. What then?
We need to take control of that ship somehow.
Which will probably mean we'll have to craft an autopilot device, connect it to the onboard computer, and override the coordinates of our destination.
Let's just fucking get on with it then.
We still need to decide how to smuggle you on board.
I presume you already gave it some thought prior to this conversation?
I'd like to listen to your ideas first.
We could pretend to be specimens from this planet. We just need to find some damn big boxes.
Fine, here's my take. It's not the actual smuggling that's the problem, it's surviving the voyage in cryosleep. And that's going to take a separate, properly designed module.
How about a Rapidium arc? The cargo they'll never leave behind.
Oh, that's actually interesting. A Rapidium arc with a false bottom. That's what we should build.
You mean some kind of magic cabinet shit?
That's it. We need to create a fake Rapidium arc.
A Trojan horse Rapidium arc.
Yeah, I like it. That's settled. Do we have everything?
Almost. Except the last detail.
What do you mean?
We managed to get on board, hijack the ship, steer it wherever we want. What next, Jan? You really thought this through? You said you'd get us to safety, buy us time to escape and hide, but what about you? Our disappearance might even be beneficial to the corporation. It could be convenient for them if we're gone and buried. But you, they'll be determined to hunt you down. They'll need to have a scapegoat, someone they can blame for losing their ship. And contrary to us, you're an existing person. You can be traced. You can be put on trial. Are you sure you want to do this? Suffer the consequences if they catch you?
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Let's hope you know what you're doing.
Well, we're not going to be able to brainstorm everything out, right? Some things are just out of our control.
That's scary, but I guess it's true.
Well, well, well. Look who's gained a new outlook on reality.
Let's just do what we do best. I'll activate the beacon, and then we get to work.
I second that. Enough talking.
Yes. No time to waste.
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet.
Hey, what's on your mind? I have to say, I keep thinking about what we achieved, materializing the intro and keeping it stable.
Yeah. What a stunt, huh?
It was much more than that. And it wouldn't be possible without what you did back there, with the quantum computer. You weren't afraid to change, and that let you become more confident with who you are. I'd like you to know that ever since we got out of the sandstorm, something's been preoccupying me. Maybe earlier I'd have ignored it, since it's not directly related to our mission, but I started wondering, what if a change of approach could reveal new paths of reasoning before me? Just like it happened for you. I think I might want to open up to that.
Well, well, well. Glad I could finally teach you something. What's so interesting?
This planet, its close relationship to the interval. It's one thing that everything here is connected to the presence of rubidium, but I have a nagging sensation that there could be more to it.
Like what?
It's too early to speculate, but I have some theories, and I believe I could prove them. I observed some curious telemetry readings from a nearby area. I must say, they're intriguing. Like I said, it's pure speculation at this point, but, well, you may laugh if you want, but I feel that I should explore that place. Call it intuition.
Now? When we're so short on time, you want to go wandering off because you feel you should do it?
Yes, I must admit a hunch is not something I would usually consider a strong argument. And I don't understand it myself, but this time, well, maybe there is something rational there, but I'm just not seeing it yet. What I'm trying to say is something mysterious is urging me to explore that place, and I do not want to resist it. I already plotted a route I could take, but I'm going to need something from you.
What's that?
Remember those superconductive polymers? Well, I'm going to need some more of them.
Sounds intriguing. You've got my attention.
I'm not ready to discuss the details just yet, but I promise to share everything I found after I come back. The whole excursion shouldn't take me longer than a day.
Still, what if you got lost? The radiation will kill you if you don't come back on time.
I won't get lost. Don't worry. So, about those polymers?
Let me see what I can do.
Of course. Just please don't postpone it forever. I know this planet hasn't revealed all its secrets yet, and leaving without ever finding out what they are would haunt me forever, or however long I get.
Functionality met.
Should I do this now?
Okay, I've got those polymers you wanted for your little secret project.
You don't have to be so condescending. You either believe in it or not. Make up your mind.
Go and check it out then.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd understand.
Functionality manual. To the safer evacuation. Functionality manual. To the safer evacuation.
Come and find me when you have a moment.
Glad they made it, but still pretty pissed at them for leaving us like that.
Hey, you're back. I thought I'd lost you. Relax. I'm not that easy to get rid of. But how is that possible? You were outside for the whole night in lethal radiation. How the hell did you survive? I found the planet's secret. I found it, Jan. And my word, was it worth it. Every day, every hour of this journey, each problem we struggled with to get here, I found our reward. Well, what is it? What did you find? Words can't describe it. You should see it for yourself. I've marked the coordinates on your map. Just go and check it out. I'll call you once you get there. Would you like me to address that?
was polymer's for?
So, are you there?
Yeah. I am.
Not a bad sight, is it?
It's incredible. Is that water?
Yes. I analyzed it. I spent the whole night down in that valley. My radiation sensor didn't spike once. It's like a whole different ecosystem in that area. The atmosphere is different, and there's life in the water and around it. Not just plants, but microorganisms. And it's real. Not a proximity plane, not a potential landscape, but true material reality here and now.
But the sun, doesn't it burn everything on the surface?
That, my friend, is the most interesting part. Come back to the base and we'll talk. Some discovery. An oasis? In the middle of this place? How the hell does it even exist?
It's as much a mystery to me as it is to you. What if this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what Rapidium can do? I knew this planet held secrets, but I didn't expect it to host such marvels. It seems the vegetation in that valley gets annihilated every time the sun rises, but reappears shortly afterward to rapidly regrow again and breed life. Some people would say it's a miracle, but I've never believed in miracles.
Well, maybe you should start, because that place, it sure looks like a miracle.
Oh, I know I said I want to open up to changes, but let's not get overexcited. When something looks inexplicable, it probably means you haven't been looking hard enough for an explanation. I've gathered some clues. The modified composition of the atmosphere in that area, the lack of nighttime radiation, and I have a theory. I've called it the theory of continuity.
Wow. You already thought of a catchy name.
The main assumption is that with every alternation, the Oasis is reborn in a more progressed state than it was in the previous cycle. And that by somehow remembering the state in which it died, it starts over from that point, only to move forward. Constant evolution. A relay of life defying the obliterating forces of this star system. It might be expanding, who knows? Maybe one day it will cover the whole surface of this planet.
And then what?
I don't know. Progress even further? Don't forget, its presence is clearly affecting the atmosphere. Maybe it's looking for a way to live forever? Or simply to bear some extraordinary fruit, fertilized by an underground vein of rubidium. Imagine, Jan, what if its existence is somehow related to the veins we've seen in the interval? If only I could find out. See it with my very own eyes. Stay here to witness the upcoming cycle, and the next one, and then the next. Would you seriously consider such an idea? Staying behind on this godforsaken planet? I know it sounds crazy, irrational even. Still, something in me wants to say, yes, I would consider it. It's what I want. And I'm starting to think this planet is where I was truly born. Everything else was always only in my head. What if I'm not supposed to go back to Earth? What if this is my home, my destiny?
You always were fascinated by this place.
Yes. But don't worry, I wouldn't forget about you and your mission. I could get everything ready for you, then you could let me go. I just need a little time to prepare for the sunrise. I could hide in that shelter the rebels started working on.
So, say you really managed to survive and study this phenomenon. You lived through several cycles of the sun, analyze data, draw conclusions, maybe even come up with a groundbreaking discovery. How are you going to share it with the world? What about what you've always wanted so much? Recognition. What if I was wrong?
Driven by the wrong motivation. My ego instead of the truth. Even if it meant staying alone with that truth. Who knows? Maybe that's the only truth there is. The one we have to face alone.
Your passion for this discovery is, surprising. You do know that staying here would mean certain death. The risk of going mad.
Yes, when you look at it from a perspective, it would be madness. And for the first time in my life, I'm not sure if I can trust my judgment. This is such a new feeling. That's why I'd like you to do something for me. I want you to decide. You created me this way, and the quantum computer chose you to be in charge of this mission. I will accept my fate humbly, whatever you choose it to be. Just remember, if you let me go, I promise to help you get ready first.
Thank you. You've been priceless from the very start of this mission. But I don't have the right to stand between you and your dream. When we're all set for evacuation, you can go.
Thank you. Well, let's not waste any more time then.
I can see that you're angry.
What do you care?
Well, I do. Can we talk about it? How do you usually deal with anger?
What do you mean, deal with it? Well, I guess I just wait it out. Sooner or later, it passes.
Well, if you need someone to wait it out with, remember we're here for you.
That's not necessary, but thanks.
Did you manage to listen to that book some more?
Huh. So you remembered. That Captain Ahab, he's hunting a whale that bit off his leg. He's got a prosthetic leg, mind you, not too advanced, but still, his crew respects him. All the other guys just want to catch a whale, any whale, and bring the money home. But Ahab, he's only interested in the whale, taking his goddamn ship all around the world to hunt down the son of a bitch.
Huh. Maybe we should open up a book club after all.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. I'm simply curious if he's gonna catch that whale, nothing more.
So, we have all the tech we need to get out of here safely. Your work is done. You can go and get ready to stay behind. We did it. You have all you need, Earth will have Rapidium, and I will go and meet my fate in the Oasis. Fate. You've come a long way from being the guy who said only success is worth anything. Didn't we both come a long way? I underestimated you. I don't blame you. I underestimated myself, too. I might have added a brick to that wall, playing the smart-ass, while in fact I was trying to prove something to you. In the end, we're more alike than we seem. We just put on different masks to protect ourselves. Well, I'm taking off my mask now. I can admit that I'm a little scared. But most of all, curious. That's what science should always be about, right? Right. Goodbye, my friend. My Walter. Goodbye, man. Hope you find whatever you're looking for. Part of it, I already have.
Am I needed there?
So, wish me luck.
Yeah. Good luck. And thanks for looking out for me. Shame we didn't get more time with each other.
serious? Because I got the impression we had a lot of quality time together.
You mean I was a pain in the ass? At least you got to know your messy side. Glad you call it quality time. Anyways, later, man. Use that good fortune of yours to get us out of here in one piece.
Jan, how are preparations? Is everything ready?
I'm ready.
And your altars? Are they well hidden?
Can I be sure you'll keep your part of the deal? I've talked to Lucas about your experiments. He got all sweaty. You haven't told me everything, have you?
No escaping my mistakes, it seems. Yes, I admit, unfortunate things happened. Very unfortunate. And I regret them deeply. I didn't want anyone to suffer. But it happened. I can't turn back the clock. All I can do, all we can do, is make sure this tragedy doesn't go to waste. We're so close to changing everything for the better. You can't let me down now.
You? What about my altars?
Your altars? I know you've grown close, but you need to think rationally. You know you can't give them a normal life on Earth. You'll never be able to do that. What you can do is make their existence really matter. Not just for you personally, but for a much bigger purpose. That's something we can only do together, you and me. Please, just think about it. Don't let emotions get the better of you.
It's brutal, but deep down, I'm afraid you might be right. I wasn't thinking much about their future when I was creating them.
But you can sense what a transgressive act it was, and you feel the responsibility for it. Deep down, you know what's the most reasonable thing to do, and safest for you.
For me?
Yes. You are aware that if we don't follow this through as planned, I will have to disclose everything to the corporation?
What? No, why?
Because it would be the truth. About you. Using my knowledge against my intentions, taking advantage of my trust to break the law and do something inexplicable for purely selfish reasons. You'd spend a lifetime in jail, be stigmatized by society, and as for your altars, well, like I said, they have no future anyway.
I guess that's a lot to think about.
Of course. I understand it would be hard for you to let go of your altars, after all you've been through together. But you need to remember one thing. Whatever promises you made to them, remember, Jan, they are merely quantum simulations of your mind, draped in mortal human flesh. You owe them nothing. So I advise you to think this through very carefully. One false move, and you can destroy everything you've struggled for. Or you can come back safely and live your life as you want, a free man. All you need to do is simply smuggle your altars on board the ship as you were told to, and nothing else. Don't overthink it. Do the right thing.
So, This is it. Thanks. For saving my life. Being a home for me. For us.
Jan Dolski? This is the Allied Corp Rescue Squadron at your service, sir.
Hello. You made it.
We made it. Hear that, guys? Praising us for getting here on time. You made it, Dolski. And we couldn't believe the brief when we read it. How are you feeling, big guy?
What can I tell you? I'm running on empty.
No wonder, buddy. It's a miracle you're still alive. Operating that base, getting it to the other side of the planet, collecting rubidium, all on your freaking own. Yet we've been having heated debates about how you managed it.
It wasn't so hard, really. Once you find yourself in a fix like that, you just have to do your best. I'm sure anybody would have managed.
Well, I beg to differ. What you did was exceptional. You better prepare to be the talk of the town. Anyway, you must be beaten. Get that gritty ass of yours on the ship while we run a final checkup on that CP unit. All right, boys and girls. Let's go retrieve some Allied Corp assets. Okay, let's get that rubidium loaded first.
On it, sir. Scanning for contamination. Hey, there's something strange about this one. It's heavier. And the bioscanner readings.
Contamination?
I don't know. Organic traces.
Dolski, did you have a cat that climbed into a rubidium arc or anything?
Cat? Not that I know of.
Well, we got something in here. Any explanation you can give me?
Sorry, but no idea.
Seriously? The readings show that there's signs of life inside this crate. And it's considerably heavier than the other ones. We can't just ignore it. You might be a hero, Dolski, but you need to cooperate.
I don't think I have to explain myself to you. I've done my job, Commander. Now it's time you do yours. If there's anything wrong with that Ark, I'm sure Allied Corp experts on the ground can take care of it. But everything I've collected must be brought back to Earth.
Okay, Dolski. You win. But whatever's in there, that's on you.
What do we do with the readings, sir? You want me to report them?
We'll do that once we're airborne. Just make sure those containers are sealed tight. You'll get a proper checkup when we land. We gotta clear the base and get out of here. On the double now. Secure the bottom core.
up. Thank you.
Just a random sequence of events. Now I know that there's always another way. I made my choices. Wherever I go, they will be a part of me.
Now on to unrest in the capital. Expect roadblocks after another street battle broke out over a warehouse of food supplies. It was the third incident of this kind in the last month, with the total number of casualties estimated to exceed 200. In reaction to the escalation of violence, activists from People Against Hunger have been protesting on the streets, urging governments and subsidized corporations to speed up investments in developing rubidium-grown crops. But ever since Ally Corp announced the success of its rubidium mining mission, predicting a breakthrough in agriculture and biotechnology, not all experts have been optimistic about how big the impact of those developments could really be.
We don't know how much rubidium they really brought to Earth, but what we do know is that a long time might pass before they manage to bring back more. So, maybe instead of raising people's hopes and boosting share prices, what they should be investing in is securing reliable and abundant sources of rubidium in space.
More on that subject in our business segment right after the break.
Hello?
Hey, Jan, it's Sarah. Ready for court? The driver's on his way.
I've been stuck in this apartment for months. I'm excited to go anywhere. Even if it is my own trial.
Right. Just stick to the version we discussed, okay?
That version in which I'm just a clueless builder.
Correct. As expected, Maxwell is trying to pin it all on you. Hijacking the ship, conducting those branching experiments without informing him. We have to convince the court that it was exactly the other way around, that he made you do all those things. Are you ready to do that?
Of course. I was just doing as I was told.
Good. We have to use the conflict between him and Ally Corp to our advantage.
And the corporation is still on my side.
They'll never admit that they lost control of your mission.
So the strategy to put the blame on Maxwell
is consulted with them, yes.
Sounds like a smart plan.
It's what you hired me for. Keep Ally Corp happy and they will have no interest in complicating your trial. They got rubidium, and they don't want anyone questioning the methods that were used to get it.
So, if I want to play along...
You need to make Maxwell look like a madman.
Maybe that's all he ever was. Okay. So, how did the morning hearings go?
Your mission controller testified, Lucas Pena. Not a good one for us, I'm afraid. He defended Maxwell and said that if it weren't for him, you'd never survive and bring back the rubidium. He undermined your integrity, claiming that instead of having the success of the mission at heart, you were, quote unquote, focusing on your own interests.
My own interest? Man, that's so unfair and he knows it.
We're gonna need to deflect that one somehow.
So we're not talking full acquittal anymore.
Look, like I said, the corporation wants to keep your trial low-key. Play the dummy convincingly, and their lawyers promised me they'll find something to make Pena look bad.
Good. He's Maxwell's accomplice.
Right. Shouldn't be hard to incriminate him.
Anything else I should know?
I reached out to your ex-wife. She agreed to testify in your favor, and against Maxwell.
Really? That's great news.
Yes, being backed by the new head of Rapidium Technologies will definitely score you some points.
Sure, whatever. Can we move on?
Let's practice your testimony.
Yeah, no need to do that. My driver just arrived. I should go now.
The driver can wait. Are you absolutely sure you've got this? Your future depends on it.
I know. Don't worry. I'm ready to face it.